flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, minutes and claims from the auditor's office, please.
Got the minutes for October 18th meeting. You approved in your rezoning meeting for the same day.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor, by aye? Aye. Any opposed? Is that both meeting minutes?
Sure.
And then I've got claims and I want to start doing them a little different, approving the payroll separate from the regular claim docket. And the reason being is, silly as it sounds, if you guys make a separate motion to, 3 motions instead of 2, it increases our federal, indirect cost reimbursement.
Okay.
Because it works into the formula,
I see.
how the commissioner's office applies to that, so we get a little more money.
Like an extra $1 million a year.
Probably not.
Is that a little high on that one, Cheryl?
Just a little.
Thus, we've got the claim docket for October 15th through the 21st for $699,806.12.
So you want a motion to approve that amount? I'll make a motion to approve the docket October 15th to 21st, $699,806.12.
Second. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed?
And then we've got the claim docket for October 22nd through the 28th for $1,165,380.44 to approve.
But you want the payroll separate?
Yeah, I'll do that we'll do that after you approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll from October 22nd to 28th for $1,141,312.22.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And then the regular claims for that same period are $1,165,380.44.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Burns, the amount of $1,141,312.22 for payroll. All in favor by aye? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brandon.
Very welcome.
Okay, number 3 on our docket here is property of 1345 3rd Avenue, John Village. Are you in here? You want to speak on that?
Yes, this is a property that on each side, well, that property is just a vacant lot, and it's been in many tax sales. To either side, the properties are already owned by Habitat, and so they requested this as well. And it just, in a lot of respects makes sense because they do much more to it. I mean, right now, we're not collecting anything. And if we can make it viable for in the future, to me, that would make a lot of sense. We would need to have a hearing on it, and and I could have our tax sale attorney prepare the resolution. Basically, if you want to have it as of today, so that, for your next hearing, the advertisement and everything for it has to be 10 days prior to the hearing. And then at that point, you would be able to act on it.
This is the same thing that we did for Reach Services.
Yes. And for Mental Health America.
Right. So you need a motion for us to accept those. What are you looking for today?
Well, right now, I'm looking for motion for to prepare a resolution for the hearing.
I'll make a motion for you to prepare the resolution for the hearing.
I haven't had coach doing this, I've investigated it. Some of those projects that they cleaning up those houses, I think the public donated dumpsters for the houses on either side. So I'd second that motion.
All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any more questions for John?
Thank you.
Here, what was it?
Yeah, I got questions for John. How did the tax sale go?
The tax sale went very well. From the standpoint of property sold, we we've got some invalidations, but over 240 properties were sold. And even with those invalidations. And typically, if you put an average over the last 5 years, that sale usually garners about 190, sales.
About 800 properties in that sale.
It was 949,
But that includes mineral rights though too.
yes.
So that's about 100 of those.
Not that many,
Okay,
not many.
but closer than not.
Right. And we cleaned up a lot of those mineral rights because they hadn't been assessed or valued, in the last 10 years. And so we basically removed those because, they were not gathering any type of income to be able to assess it.
So for the commissioner sale, we can anticipate another 800 when that sale comes
I
up.
would guess so, yes.
And some of these from your last sale will roll over to that one.
Almost everything, unless it gets redeemed prior
We'll go.
to the certificate itself, will go into the commissioner sale.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. I'm gonna throw an additional thing in here before we get to the next one. Mr. Rick Jenkins passed away, and we have an appointment, to the Honey Creek Fire Protection District. Anybody wants that guy's name to reach out to us? Brown?
No, Joe Shackelford.
Joe Shackelford.
No, Joe's the new board member.
That's what he
Correct.
said, he's the
Reached
one
out
who
to
reached out to me
I'm
about
sorry, I
changing.
can't hear.
So this is certified that you, George Brown III, will fulfill the remainder of Richard Jenkins' term on the Honey Creek Fire Protection District for Beale County on the first day of November 2022, expiring on December 31st, 2025. In testimony, whereas the Beale County Board of Commissioners have hereunto set their hands and seal this first day of November 2022. So looking for a motion to approve that.
Motion approved.
Second?
All in favor, by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Sign that. The next thing on the agenda is electronic bill presentment and bill payment from Josie.
Yes, today I have Adam Eck with Invoice Cloud. He and I and Anna have had various meetings on implementing the platform into the treasurer's office. This platform will provide many benefits to the taxpayer and the county, and hopefully in the future reduce the cost of printing tax statements and postage. Right now, we're mailing out around 48,000 tax statements. The cost on that is about 34,000 a year. So with Invoice Cloud, the platform will provide to where the taxpayer can choose e-statements. And there's various payment option plans that's available with Invoice Cloud. So Adam will do a short preview on this platform. Adam?
Thanks, Josie. So everyone, I'm a little underprepared. I do have some handouts for the commissioners specifically. Let's go. Couple this way. So, I got about one more.
That would probably carry him.
So I'll go ahead and just stand right over here. So everyone, thanks for having me. I live right in Brownsburg, so it's about an hour trip for me this morning. Pretty easy, straightforward. I've been with Invoice Cloud for about 3 years now, and I work primarily with counties in Indiana, and I also work with counties in Illinois as well. So Invoice Cloud is, we have a strong presence with county governments in Indiana already. Pretty partnered with 9 And we've already added 2 more this year. Okay, so we're hoping that if all goes well, Vigo County will be a 3rd as well. So I just did some quick slides to just talk through. Don't worry, I'm not going to be putting you guys to sleep. I'm sure you've had your coffee. But I just wanted to focus on what I thought everybody in this room would care about when evaluating and hopefully eventually approving our platform. So first things first, I created a goals and objectives piece with Josie, Tana, Elizabeth, and team just to get a better understanding of where Invoice Cloud is actually going to provide value to the taxpayer, to the treasurer, staff, okay, and then also provide overall cost-saving benefit to the county, something I think that you guys would certainly care about as well. So our platform is very successful at driving up the number of taxpayers paying their bills online. As we think about headed into 2023 and beyond, a lot of people are transacting for mostly everything online in this day and age. Right? You think of Amazon, you think of Etsy, you think of even ordering groceries right to your doorstep. Right? So Invoice Cloud focuses on digital transformation. And Josie and her staff also recognize the fact that the more taxpayers pay their taxes online, it's much faster for them to process. Right? It increases those collections efficiencies. So our platform is typically very successful at driving up the number of taxpayers paying online. Additionally, we already have an integration built out with Vigo County's core software provider, that is Lau Associates. This is very important. We are a partnership-centric platform. So what that means is when we provide data to your taxpayer in the form of what their bills are, how much they owe, that's all going to be able to be conveyed correctly and in real time as well. Okay. Moving forward, I think potentially one of the largest benefits that our platform will provide to the county itself in the form of cost savings is what Josie had mentioned. The platform is very successful at driving what we refer to as self-service enrollments. So you can think driving a taxpayer signing up for auto pay, for paperless billing. And right now, Josie and I found that there's a huge potential for us to be able to drive significant cost savings. So in the tax space for county governments, typically after about 1 year, we arrive at around 10 to 12% paperless billing enrollments. And so we think about 48,000 tax bills going out, you get 5,000, 7,000 taxpayers going paperless at a cost savings of 50 to 60 cents per tax bill. That does translate to significant cost savings benefit. That number isn't static either. So what I mean by that is year after year, you can expect those numbers for paperless billing enrollments to go up as well, right? When we think about how our platform works and the way the technology has been developed for the benefit of the taxpayer, that's something that you'll just have to take Josie and I's word for it. We've gone through multiple demonstrations and discussions. More than happy to go through a quick demonstration of the platform with any commissioners if necessary as well. So just wanted to talk through that quickly. We are a fully cloud-based platform. This is important because we found that county governments really are focusing on not only meeting and exceeding the needs of the taxpayer within the online experience now, but also a couple of years from now, right? So if you buy like some hosted software, we say that you're buying a point in time. So what happens to the online taxpayer experience in 2024, 2025, 2026? Think about digital payments and financial technology. It's a rapidly evolving space. And so Invoice Cloud, being a cloud-based platform, allows us to continue to modernize and enhance our platform without Vigo County getting in line, okay? Like having to wait behind other counties or not having access to functionality that our other clients do not, okay? So just wanted to make sure that we touched upon that. Invoice Cloud provides many different payment channels and payment methods. That was also something that we found would provide clear benefit to your taxpayers, offering newer options like PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and also leveraging the taxpayer's usage of the smartphone, right? As I look around this room, a lot of us have smartphones. A lot of people are doing all of their transacting through their smartphone. So Invoice Cloud leverages people's usage of technology channels like smartphones and text messages and email addresses to continue to drive that engagement and adoption, okay? And I think what else is most important that really sets our platform apart in terms of driving collections efficiencies is that we are a proactive communications platform as well, okay? So when we think about Invoice Cloud, we really set ourselves apart by actually getting visibility to your taxpayers that they have outstanding taxes due, right, via email, via text message. We send out multiple reminders, and I think that's evidenced in the slide here. But this concept is that, sending out one tax bill for 2 installments, right, typically will allow the taxpayer to forget. I mean, we confirmed this with Josie, where you have plenty of people who pay their spring installment, but they have to rely on one tax bill for the entire year. So it's a little bit easier to forget that they have an outstanding fall installment as well. Yeah, question.
When that reminder or communication comes to me after I've signed up,
Yep.
what does the email signature say?
In
Does
terms,
it say do not reply?
it says, it will say like notification, the tax parcel number on behalf of Vigo County.
I'd like to see that. I mean, we're not signing a contract today, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'd like to see how that comes. I recently dealt with an issue with my insurance company.
Sure.
Because the email came back, do not reply, and I ignore those.
Okay.
And apparently I went without insurance because of that. So
Mm.
I want to make sure that whatever you're sending, it's obvious that it's coming from us.
Yep.
So that people see that.
Yeah, no problem. I'll definitely set that up. It actually came up on another discussion I had yesterday.
Yeah, it's a problem now, and all of us, I mean, I know Mike, Chris, and I, we just get bombarded with spam.
Sure.
So it's easy to overlook something.
Yeah.
Do you follow up with a text message or a call, or is it just an email only?
So what we do is we send out actually up to 3 email reminder notices per tax event, per collections event. So we are also an omni-channel platform. So what I mean by that is that if you were to pay off of that first notice, you wouldn't get the second and the third. Someone can also be signed up for email reminders and text message reminders. But this is a lot of this functionality is taxpayer opt-in, which is pretty important because you don't really want to be signing up taxpayers for electronic notices if they haven't consented to doing so as well. So I'll definitely send over, an example of the subject
So
line.
Josie's fine.
And then also following up on that, there is an issue of spam, and so a lot of paperless billing engines actually get sent directly to spam in this day and age. The way that Invoice Cloud circumvents that is that we actually don't include a PDF attachment of the e-bill. So the way that the communication is conveyed is that there's just an easy clickable button that will drop them into the Invoice Cloud platform that would open up in their browser, within their cell phone, tablet, or computer.
Well, we train our employees to not click on those links.
Sure.
So
Sure. So I'm more than happy to show you an example of the communication as well.
I
There's,
missed your demonstration. That was a calendar issue.
there's no, and I can even create like a small demonstration and send it over to Josie for you to see as well.
If Josie wants it, I mean, I've already heard feedback that the payment component is what most people find beneficial, that you can pay in installments, so that's.
Yeah, that's the big thing when she told me.
Exactly, a lot of people wait till the last minute and then decide to pay with a credit card. They have the option to set up a monthly, quarterly, or every 6 months make a payment. So therefore, by the end of the year, they may only owe $100 on a $500 bill. So if they choose to pay with a credit card, it's minimal charge. So they have so many options available to them by using this platform that we don't offer now.
Are we still doing a 3% service charge for credit cards then?
It's
2.75.
currently at 2.35, this is 2.95.
So close to 3%.
Exactly.
And then your company's handling the credit card transactions, or is that third party?
So we have a direct integration with Chase Payment Tech, which is the division of JP Morgan Chase. I believe actually I got you guys at 2.75.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah,
it's
like-
2.75.
I'm not gonna take a
And
contract
it's
back.
meant to be 2.95
No,
per transaction.
it's at 2.75.
$2.95 per transaction.
$2.95 per
A minimum,
transaction.
yes.
A minimum. So the concept there is like, your average tax bill is like $500. So that the $2.95 flat fee minimum really isn't going to be coming into contact with the taxpayer frequently, just because 2.75% of $500
Well,
is exceeding $2.
I'm escrow, so how does that make a difference? Does it?
Nope.
I just don't sign up.
Correct.
Kevin, you had,
Well, just a quick question, because you brought up that there is a fee per transaction if it's by credit card, and you also brought up that they can set it in 5 payments.
Yep.
So do they pay that minimum 2% or 250 whatever for all 5? Or is it for one time since it's one bill?
Yeah, good question. So the way that it works for what that functionality is called FlexPay, being able to break it out in installments. People would think, it'd be advantageous for Invoice Cloud to charge the, 3% for each individual installment, and we really love that. We don't do that. So we actually split out the convenience fee by the number of installments as well.
So you're not gonna send out, if I sign up, you're not sending me a hard copy of
If you sign up for an e-statement, no, you will not be getting a hard copy.
that? Okay. And that'll be significant savings on our end.
Well, like we said, the fee with Invoice Cloud is 15 cents once you sign up for an e-statement versus us paying 71 cents per statement with Master's Touch that actually prints our statements and mails those.
Okay.
So eventually, the more people we transition over to e-statements, yes, we're gonna show significant savings on printing. And also, the return mail, I don't remember the number of items that we actually get back from the post office on mail that's not deliverable. It's quite significant.
To piggyback on what Jody just said about the return mail, just like with Form 11s, we probably get back out of a 40,000 piece mailing, we probably get back between 800 and 1,000 pieces that we pay postage on.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and then also we have a young lady that actually works the return mail and then tries to resend.
Which we do too. We try to find a better address and resend it.
Right. So you got cost there on that individual and then postage again.
Right.
And we understand people do change their email addresses and such, but
Well, that'll help with building security issues too, because we'll have less people hanging out in the hallway.
Correct. That was another big piece, is cutting down on walk-in volume as well. The reason why I brought
Upset people.
You bring up like the Amazon.com examples, because a lot of people now are using Amazon for everything, right? Even more so than like going to the store and buying groceries, right? So if we can do that with the taxpayer experience, the path of least resistance, the easiest way for the taxpayer to pay their tax bill is not getting in the car and driving over here, right? It's not also sending a tax payment in the mail, which you can run into fraud. You also have to focus on reliance on the postal service as well. So that's what we're talking about.
And that platform, you don't leave it, I mean, it takes you right to where you wanna go.
Yeah.
We're now, with what we have now, if you wanna do a credit card payment, you have to leave this screen and go into another
Yeah.
section, and they have to enter everything into this next
Right.
phase and causes more errors on.
You're integrated.
Yeah.
So with your, this is, I mean, has nothing to do with it, but just curiosity.
Yeah.
In each step, you mentioned that you use Chase Payment, so that's a third party. How many other third parties do you contract with to do this process for us?
Only Chase.
Chase
So
only.
Chase is our merchant processor.
So you're almost fully integrated then?
Yes, yep. I think, when we think about the current solution in place, they're using something else, but the way that we have built out the integration with our merchant processor, that's very seamless. And we've been with them for, 4 to 6 years as well. At the very end, I also included a case study that we did as well, just so you guys can see that we have driven these results for counties before. There's huge opportunity here because there is no paperless billing engine at all today at Vigo County, and you can think about a lot of your personal behaviors as bill payers, right? If you guys are paperless for any of your bills, you probably signed up because you're checking your inbox and your text messages far more frequently than you're checking your mailbox, right? So it's that same concept as we continue to see the world shift to digital. Invoice Cloud is going to be able to help you guys stay on top of that. So I just wanted to open it up for questions from anybody, and then I'll certainly get the subject line for the communications as well. What questions do you all have for me?
That's a question for Josie. How do you plan on, are you gonna do like an education campaign, or how are you gonna get this out to taxpayers so they know?
Yeah, so Josie, I can answer that real quickly. Just because Invoice Cloud actually offers out marketing pieces of functionality within our platform. So Josie and her team will be provided with a marketing resource platform where they'll be able to create branded information to be able to put on the website, to be able to send out in the form of mailers if they so choose to send out to the taxpayer. But what happens is with Invoice Cloud and Vigo County, there's clear alignment in terms of the behavior that we want to drive from your taxpayers, right? We want them to go paperless. We want them to pay online. So we're actually going to provide Josie and her team a marketing platform. And that's that new extra charge. Now, there would be a charge incurred if you guys chose to like send out mailers and things like that. We're not going to pay for the postage. However, you can do a lot of things digital in this day and age. You think about the website.
That's in the agreement too, Chris.
Thanks.
You may see if we create a flyer and maybe incorporate that flyer with the statements that we mail out in the spring. Possibly without incurring any more expense on postage.
Sure.
And the thing as well is that I've seen this happen with my billers that I signed in Invoice Cloud. It's not just, hey, here's a marketing platform, do what you will with it. Josie and her team will be connected with marketing coordinators at Invoice Cloud. So we'll be able to bounce ideas back and forth, figure out what's worked specifically within tax for counties as well, and then just determine the best option moving forward that benefits the taxpayers and staff the most.
Another positive also is we will have new machines to process credit card payments. Right now, our machine does not accept a chip. So the new machines won't accept the chip, slide or what have you.
Also, I talked to Adam a little bit before the meeting. I had reviewed the agreement, a couple language issues, and Adam's gonna hook me up with their attorney to discuss those. So
Yes.
just wanted you to be aware of that also.
Yeah, I think, the one that I saw, Terry, that came up was the auto renewal. That's something that I can tweak. I'd love to act on the Invoice Cloud's behalf legally. I can't do that, but I can actually confirm to you right now that that's doable on our end.
Okay,
And then the limitation liability, I'll just send it and I'll get you a formal response back.
Okay,
I'm sure that's
thanks.
what we're doing.
So if there's no further questions, you guys just want to table this until the next meeting? Or
We'll
until?
just discuss it at the next meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
After Terry reviews it, yeah, that's great.
Okay, all right,
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Josie, for being innovative.
Okay, comments from the public? Any comments from the public? Going once, going twice? Okay, comments from commissioners or other elected officials? Nobody, nothing? Josie, you did good, you spoke today. Kevin? Anything?
I spoke with
Yeah. Bruce? Commissioners? Nothing? All right, we'll stay in recess until the third Tuesday. Thank you.
We have an afternoon.
He knew exactly what you were talking about.
I need to check calendars too.
It is.
This kid right here, he's good. Wanna talk? Wanna give a speech?
I'm gonna preach.
Are you gonna preach? Hey, we
I'm
can
not
use
gonna
it.
take up an offering.
I see how this is.